What's going on, my fellow troops? My name is Xavvo and welcome back to a brand new video. So today I'm going to be talking about Cold War zombies and the older COD titles with zombies that came before this or last year's Cold War zombies experience, because honestly I feel like there's a lot to talk about generally that I dislike about this zombies experience. I don't fully hate it. It's not like I despise the zombies like some people might do, and some people love the multiplayer in this game, which I find incredibly hard to understand. But hey, whatever floats your boat, honestly. Enjoy the multiplayer if you enjoy it so much. But I play the zombies a lot, and you might notice that either from my YouTube channel, I'm always posting, if it's not topic videos, it's always like Cold War zombies tutorials and other shit like that. And if you go to my Instagram, you've got literally most of my content I post on my Instagram is like clips about unlocking like Plague Diamond and other progress towards my Dark Ether grind. Like, you might have noticed I play it a lot, and it is my favorite part of this latest COD experience. As well as I didn't mention it in my Cold War rant video, the one where I basically said Cold War's garbage and I'm going to talk about all the problems with it. I never once discussed the problems with zombies, because I think I was almost like turning a blind eye to it. I don't know what I was doing. Perhaps I was just being a yes man to that side of the game, saying yes, we love this content, Treyarch, we love it so much, this is fucking amazing, keep going, oh yeah, you're doing it so well, instead of like being a bit more neutral, if you could say, and being a bit more unbiased. Because honestly, the whole of that whole Cold War rant was about multiplayer, and a lot of it could have been a little bit about campaign. So I'm going to talk about the problems that I face and a lot of other people will face in this year's or last year's zombies experience. So, first and foremost, I have played Black Ops 2 Zombies, Cold War 2 Zombies, and Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now, I never played it like that, like crazy amounts. I never played it that much before Black Ops Cold War. And that could be a positive and maybe a negative, depending on how you look at it. So the positive is Cold War Zombies is doing something correctly, and I'll mention what that probably is. But there's a problem with that, because it means I wasn't actually making the most of those zombie games whilst they were in their kind of life cycle. I wasn't making the most of their, like, just making the most of what they had to offer, because to be honest, it didn't cater to me as a unexperienced zombie player what the things meant in those games. And this is why I'm going to get onto about why I think this year's or last year's COD zombies experience did cater to me, because this zombies experience was made to cater towards newer players with lack of experience, who've probably maybe played a few zombies games prior to this one, like I have, and even to people who have played since the OG golden days. And I can understand why they face a lot of a problem with this year's or last year's. Sorry, I'm going to say last year's, because this year we're having COD World War II Vanguard, apparently. As I'm saying, like, a lot of people just don't enjoy this year's or last year's zombies experience because of the fact that it's so watered down compared to previous ones. So if you played older zombies, there was a lot of content. There was so much content, so many Easter eggs, storyline, absolutely everything. It was action-packed to the brim with content. As soon as you went to a match, it was that full that it almost was just not digestible to people like me who were new to zombies. And that's kind of what made me sway away from zombies, and I kind of more or less used it for background gameplay for videos. I went on it every so often to do achievements for the game, because I am achievement hunter, fun fact about me. So on Xbox, I like to go for achievements to try and get as many game points as I can, loads of rare achievements that other people don't have. Me being an achievement hunter, that's pretty much the only reason that drove me to go into those zombies games. Now, I find that kind of just sad, because I really didn't make the most of what there was to offer in those zombies experiences. They had a lot of content, a lot of storyline, and just lots of replay value, and they were honestly just merciless. They were unforgiving. When you died, it almost drove you to boot up another match and try and do better, to basically beat your score. That's what Zombies was in such a simple time. It was just having fun, casual play, just enjoying yourself, and it was just trying to beat your record. It was almost like a high score game. Now, on the other hand, it's more like, oh, how many camos can I get this game? How many kills, critical hits can I get? It's all very statistical based now. And I think that's a general for Call of Duty and modern FPS games. They're becoming heavily skill based and not enough like casual play and just something to chill out on. It's more like, oh, I need to be the best, I need to be better than everyone else, I need this camo first. And more people than ever are doing camo grinds, believe it or not. Back in the day, yes, there was camo grinds, but hardly anyone was doing them, whilst now everyone and their dog is trying to get the camos the fastest they can when a game just drops. So you could look at that in a good and a bad way. Honestly, I'm in the middle for that, but because of the fact that it's very skill driven now and not enough like casual play, people aren't going into matches now like they used to do to have fun. It almost feels like it's just a working battle to see how much content you can get done in the game. Now, because you might argue we're consuming content so much faster now than we were before, the content feels very minimal. This is what I'm trying to say about this year's Call of Duty for Zombies. This year's Call of Duty in general and the Zombies experience. This Zombies is so baseless because of the lack of content. This game in general, it dropped with one round-based Zombies map. All of the content in this game, story-wise, is all within the intel, which you don't even consume in-game. Like, yeah, you could listen to an intel, but who the fuck is stopping still for 3 minutes to listen to intel? You're practically going to die to a swarm of zombies, so nobody's listening to the intel within your match. Once you collect intel, you're practically heading out to listen to it on your barracks, and I don't know anybody who sits in the barracks on their lobby and thinks, let's listen to the latest bit of radio transmission we've just picked up from Requiem. Nobody's doing that, let's be honest. All the content, story-wise, everything, is within intel. There are some really cool Easter eggs, I'll give them that, but they're not fulfilling enough. They don't feel like they make the games really exciting, and it's just kind of like, well, that was pretty cool. Well, back to what I was doing. That's kind of what it's like. And because so much of the content's in the intel, which is actually outside of the match, it doesn't drive players to want to learn more. The actual storyline itself, loads of people just kind of don't understand the storyline, and that's where people have to start going on YouTube to find out what the story is and how to do it, because it's not in front of you. But the content in the older Zombies was not very digestible for new players. As I say, it didn't cater to new players, it was unforgiving, and it was difficult. It basically made you land on your ass rough and have to get up and try again. With this Zombies, it feels like anybody can get to round 20, higher than that. You've got YouTubers literally going, like streamers, trying to hit the max round before the game crashes. Like, it's really not that difficult if you put your mind to it. It's just more time consuming. So, the Zombies, the rounds just feel super, like, easy to play on. Anybody can do it at this point. They were difficult back then, and because of that, it doesn't drive the same replayability for the new Zombies that we have now compared to previous titles. Because honestly, I think the Zombies this year is fun, but on the contrary, it does get boring very fast. Like Mauer de Toten, when that came out, you know, the video I made on it, I was ecstatic. I was like, this is exciting as fuck. This is like a Black Ops 4 Zombies vibe for me. I don't know what that would be for you, Black Ops 3, something that you had a lot of memories with. That's what it was like for me. It was like a Zombies game that's easy to consume, however, feels the same way. But now, I don't even find myself playing in Mauer der Toten. In fact, I'm actually more inclined to play Die Machine and Firebase Z because they appear to be the better games for camo grinds. So honestly, the fact that the new maps that are coming out aren't even like keeping us entertained for months on end, they're kind of just like getting boring within days to weeks, it's not looking good. And on a side note, with Outbreak, honestly, I know what they tried to do with it was trying to be inventive and to bring about some kind of new experience for zombies, but I don't think Outbreak did very well, and it wasn't very well received, let's be honest, because Outbreak breaks the boundaries of the norm for zombies. So everyone in zombies is used to like the classical round-based maps. But instead, we got an open world experience, which basically means, yes, you kill zombies, but it's also very dragged out, very spacious, and it kind of doesn't promote as much killing for zombies as much. It becomes more of a very challenge-based thing. It's just like, oh, do one objective and then warp or exfil, and it's practically that on repeat, except it just gets more extensively harder, and it's nothing really too interesting for me personally. Outbreak just didn't hit well for me at all. In general, as I was coming back to in the first point, because this game in general dropped with very minimal content, and all the content that's in it now realistically should have been the content that dropped at the start. So every time we've had a new round-based map, we've had it for so many months on end that we become bored of it, craving for another one, we play the living shit out of it because it's new, and then that becomes boring. If we had so much content to begin with, and we're getting more content all the time, we would be dying to play. We'd be on it all the time. I can't speak for everyone, but we would generally want to play it a lot. And because of the fact, as I said before, with the intel system, the fact that the zombies is just not replayable, the amount of space between each round-based drop, and the fact that a lot of their focus is actually more on Warzone, believe it or not, it just means the zombies is not receiving as much attention that it should be. If they didn't have Warzone, I truly believe Cold War would have received more attention. It would have received more of the love from Treyarch and Raven, and it wouldn't be the center stage Warzone would. It would be more on zombies and the multiplayer, and we would have probably had a game that would have dropped with better content. Obviously, apart from the circumstances that have occurred during COVID that kind of restricted a lot of the work on the Cold War game, and just, you know, developers who didn't end up working on it, because Sledgehammer basically was kicked from working on it, so Treyarch had to build off the ground from where they left off. It did mean that a lot of content was going to be buggy, a lot of things were going to drop very bugged out, not working, lack of content, and all the content now that's kind of been built up in return has been what we should have had at first. And I don't blame Treyarch, it's not their fault, even though this could have been given another 2 years or another year in general, and it dropped with everything feeling unfinished. I don't think it's Treyarch's fault. Of course, it's Activision's fault. Activision is literally the one who nags at Treyarch, Raven, Infinity Ward, whoever's making the game, whoever's leading the development, and enforces them like under a strict sort of timetable to get a game out by some release date. They do not have the control over when their game releases. If Activision hadn't rushed Treyarch this year, I think Zombies would have come out in a better state, and there would have been more content. Perhaps the game wouldn't have lots of glitches, which is a bad thing in a sense, because glitches are what make this more interesting. You know, the pile-up glitches, the out-of-the-map glitches, they are slowly patching them, but, you know, with all these glitches and bugs and, like, lots of problems and not enough content, I think, generally, it kind of killed the zombies a little bit this year, but in some senses it kind of gave it some positives, some kind of little weak spots that people could take advantage of to have some fun with. But the fact that people are even having to make fun by breaking the game instead of playing it naturally just goes to show how soulless this zombies experience is. The zombies has been kind of a drag, and it's not been as interesting. The only thing that's really driven me to play it is the camo grind. Without the camo grind, I don't think I'm even going to be playing this zombies. Like, I'm legit. Like, it's not even that fun. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say, to be honest, on this topic. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications to miss a single video that comes out on this channel. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.